Okay, the plan is to leave. As of how, when, where, and even why, she doesn't even know yet. She doesn't know yet. So begins a journey of the 24-year-old narrative of Days of Distractions. As a staff writer at a prestigious tech publication, she reports on the achievement of smug Silicon Valley billionaires and startup bros, while her own request for a raise gets bumped from manager to manager, while her longtime boyfriend Jay decides to move to a quiet upstate New York town for grad school. She sees it an excuse to cut and run, moving meant to be a grand gesture of her commitment to Jay and a way to reshape her sense of self. But in the process, she finds herself facing misgivings about her role in an interracial relationship, captivating by stories of her ancestors and other Asian Americans in history. She must confront a question at the core of her identity. How do you exist in a society that does not notice or understand you? Equal parts tender and humorous, told in spare of powerful prose. Days of Distraction is an offbeat, coming of adult tale, a touching family story, and a razor-sharp appraisal of our times. Alexandra Chang is from Northern California while living in Ithaca, New York, with her husband, dog, and cat. Awesome. For my family. People think I'm smaller than I am. For example, my feet. I wear 8.5 or 9. According to Google, these are the most common sizes for American women. Average is good, I reason. It means that wherever I end up in this country, it will be easier to find someone whose shoes I can borrow. Everything in our house smells of mildew, even when the dehumidifier is running. In the morning, while Jay still sleeps, I take out a full tank of water, collect from the overnight air, and dump it out in her front yard, a place full of sand and desert plants. The fog hangs low over the street families and retirees. To the east, Toronto towers just through the clouds. If I walked west to the end of the block, then up the long zigzaggedy stairs to the top of Grand View Park, and if not for this early fog, I'd be able to see all of the sunset with its rows of pastel houses, and past that, the vast green of Golden Gate Park. We're in the northwest section. The all-female herd of bison roam their paddock. I've come to cherish this ritual. In front of our small yellow house, watching the water pool dark, then sink into the ground. I know where I am and what I am doing. But now we are preparing to leave this all behind. This is the place and time in which the most average person is average in their own special way, or learns to believe it. The ordinary can be powerful. The flower, the sidewalk cone, the clouds in the sky, the sunset, so many sunsets and skies. New shoes, a haircut, overheard pieces of conversation, pets and food for sure. Anything is up for creation if that's the story you want to tell. People you've never met can reach into the snippets of your day-to-day life. Add it all up to make meaning. At least that's how it feels here now. I know there are people who choose to opt out, though not many in the city, the center of pressure, where an office of somebodies came up with the notion of people being brands. Sharing and shouting isn't the issue so much as the corruption of living in real time. People experiencing everything at a remove through the eyes of a consumer, actual or potential. A future audience to judge. Some are adept at this anticipation. They gain massive followings. I do not fall into this category. I'm on the other side. Those long stretches of getting lost in a giant sticky web of other people's earlier moments. It's true, not everyone lives like this or that. Only almost everyone I know. I write about gadgets for people with money to spend. I consider this my first real job. It feels good to have one place to go 5 days a week, to see the same faces, to receive a steady paycheck. It's been a year, and among many other things, I learned that the journalists love to gossips. I'm not immune. I love it too. Maybe gossip isn't the right word. We merely enjoy talking about each other. What's that if not some form of affection? I don't understand or like the reporters who don't do it. They're the less driven ones, the one too oblivious or too precious for the job. The ones who want to be friendly with everyone, as if that doesn't also make them untrustworthy to most. It's part of our work description, trading information for information, leveraging vulnerability to gain trust, determining not only who knows what, but also how to coax these people into telling. Our office is its own microcosm of drama. It gives me almost everything I need to feel part of the world. My title is Consumer Technology Reporter. Everything we do in life matters, said the tech billionaires to the famous portrait photographer. The photographer chose an angle to make the man's head and hands look disproportionately giant. A leader, a genius. He was already a very large man. He stared off into the distance, making a pensive expression. The photographer asked him to elaborate. How we communicate and interact with society matters. The billionaires continued. How we travel onto this planet Earth matters. We have to realize that no matter how small or large our actions, everything we do matters. The moment you forget that, the moment you put that aside, your life becomes erratic, chaotic. Weeks later, the photographer gave a short talk about his experience working with the titans of tech, in which he draws attention to this particular man as the one who rose above the rest. Exceptional, the photographer said with a quiver in his voice, the most authentic and soulful person he had ever met. I tell Tim the plan. He is a senior writer, my desk mate, and I think, too, a friend who might help. How? I'm not sure, except that he is in a better position than me. He squints his eyes at the news. He wears clean frame glasses and slick back undercut, which makes him appear much younger than the father of 3 children that he is. You know, you could stay. Let him go alone. Establish yourself. Are you two getting married? Where are these grad programs anyway? You could end up in the middle of nowhere, and then what are you going to do? You're young. You're up and coming. The editors like you. You're at the cusp of your career. What's going to happen if you follow this guy, especially in the middle of nowhere, to the middle of nowhere? Might be a different story if you're getting married. My wife, she followed me here. But we're already married. We're not too young. You're not too young. How old are you again? Jesus. You're young. I mean, I got married at 24, and my wife was 21 at the time. And that's how it is in the South, though. I don't want to get married, I say. You want to go in the middle of fucking nowhere for a dude you don't even want to marry? I mean, I don't like the institution of marriage in general. Oh, yeah. Very San Francisco view. Look at Adam over there. He's with his girlfriend. 16 years. No plans for marriage. He just shows up one morning, knocking his desk. So we can hear the click of that ring on his finger. Like, hey, look at me. I got married. Happy me. That's going to be you soon enough. That's not the point, I say. What do I do job-wise? Okay, here versus the middle of nowhere. Pretty easy if you ask me. Where's the middle of nowhere? Why do you keep saying that? Fucking Michigan or Indiana. It's possible he could get into school here or New York City. You better hope so. Tim looks back at his computer where columns refresh themselves in his custom social desk. The words tick down at a steady speed. He's one of those adept to cultivating a following. So, when would you move if you move, he says. Still staring at his screen. He clicks, smirks at something. Not until summer. He continues clicking, then begins typing faster and faster, moving his right hand back and forth between keyboard and trackpad. I go back to looking at my emails. Conversations between us often ends this way, abruptly without a ceremony, the courtesy between desk mates. Many minutes later, he turns to me and says, here's what I'm thinking. Don't tell the editors yet. Wait until you know for sure where or if you're even going. Office 2 interns. OH. Where'd you learn to make this? From a photo of one of my friends posted on Instagram. Is that your friend? A chief? Yeah. Do you have lots of chief friends on Instagram? Yeah, a bunch. Wait, are they really your friends or just people you found on there? Like, do you really know and care about them? Oh, sure. They're my good friends and I care a lot about them. They just don't know I exist. Jay works in a lab with scientists and mice. The lab breeds genetic deformities into the mice. Bad eyes, basically. He observes the rodents, how they handle their disabilities, which ones can lead a normal mouse life, which one becomes too ill. The goal is to make discoveries that will translate into curing eye diseases in humans. As someone with severe myopia, I should appreciate these small sacrifices for the greater good. He tells me there are protocols for how to humanly kill animals. These protocol varies based on size and age. One option is to put the mice into a chamber and overexpose them to carbon dioxide until they pass out and die. This is the most standard procedure and relatively efficient, 5 mice at a time, but they struggle for a couple of minutes before dying, and it's terrible to watch. If you like this, please continue to like, follow, and subscribe. I will pause here and start a whole new video where I just begin reading rather than having this entourage intro of me coming outside and sitting down and stuff. If you like this, let me know in the comments. Actually, I disabled those. So just like this video. Anyways, ciao. See you later. Bye.